So...
And sad tales of all sorts.
I still don't have my parents.
Yes, sir. Poor Oli still doesn't have his parents.
Shouldn't laugh at his...
Anything you can spare would be appreciated.
Oldie man?
Is someone there?
Yes, I was asking the blind guy what to look for. You know, he thinks to know. Shut up. You know what? If you've got headphones or good speaker, crank it.
We have gathered all the forces we can.
Oh, is Alistair going to speech? Speech.
For the Grey Warden!
Yeah! Oh, hits. It hits so well. We'll make Obi-Wan proud by getting to the high ground.
We're counting on you, Warden!
Thank you. Oh, I forgot you can do that. Ha! What a doofus. I'm sitting here fighting everything. I didn't have to. Knees down. Oh, yes! Finishing move from Zephyrin. Nice!
Most fled back into the deep roads.
Ah, she won't hold his hand. I intend to find Morrigan.
My impression was that she didn't want to be found.
Yeah, he hates pigeons so much. Sorry, she hates pigeons so much. It is hilarious. But what about your, your problem?
It's true.
You're all right for a human.
And you're alright for a dwarf.
Are you ready, my lord? The crowds outside are getting restless.
What were Morrigan's plans? These questions must remain a mystery for now. However, we are not done yet, so... We're learning to become a Jedi. Hopefully. Get a check, get tested if you got a cough. Alright, this way. Oh, I think we grab a hold of a dangly. There we go. Oof. This does not help with my fear of heights that I actually have in real life. Worst working conditions ever. Okay, so if I tap it right before... Whoa, shit.
I'm ready for your trade.
Oh. I'd be totally knackered by now. If I was Cal. Push the button! Avian Extermination Act. I'm gonna get rid of all the birds. Powerful commercial. Vote for me. I shoot the bad computers. So, Jeff is also not super clear of mind at the moment either. I have to admit, I am suckered into this mystery now. That is also suspicious. What the hell? Okay. Unless it's for some kind of epic sexy time. Wow, look at that swimming pool. The mystery intensifies.
Good morning, night city, a day in the life. I was on my own, catching a ride.
Or with some magical stamp from a rich person. Don't worry, we'll be back. We'll get that stamp.
There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself.
Probably going to be going there. And I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do. Wow, the place is that bad, is it? Sounds like some hell of a pub. Hang on. Try that again with the mic unmuted. Dickhead. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Time for part 2 of tonight's streaming session. So we've just finished Stray. Thank you to everyone who's come along for that. Now we've disconnected and reconnected the session. We're going to play some more PowerWash Simulator. We're joined by the awesome Grunt Cookies. Vito jumped in as well, but he has disappeared.
Your background is still Stray. I don't know if you want to change that.
I don't think I ever did a PowerWash Simulator background for myself, because last time I had the Oblivion one still up. I'm just going to leave it, to be honest, because It'll take me like another 5 or 10 minutes of dicking around to get one, put it in the right place, resize it, put it in there. Nah, we'll just leave it. I like the back. If I just block the cat out, it's not too noticeable, right? All right, so co-op hosting is available once the job is started. Do we want to do the shoe house or the skate park? I'm leaning towards shoe house.
Skate park is big. I did it the other night. But if you're an achievement hunter, there is an achievement for cleaning 90% of the job without actually finishing a specific item.
I am not an achievement hunter.
That's
Frosty's job. That's what Frosty does. Frosty's the achievement hunter in our community.
So I think that would be good fun. It'd be a challenge.
Would. But I like getting it 100% clean. Getting all the goodness. Either way.
Then you clean it.
Oh, really? So you don't just end the job with it 90% done. You've got to get 90% without fully cleaning anything.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard because if you accidentally clean one thing, then you've ruined it, right?
Correct. But all the things in the skate park are very large in terms of area.
All right, let's try it. Start
you actually want to try it?
Oh, you've convinced me now. You got to. This is your idea, Grunt. Grunt Cookie Man. Let's do it. Now, how do I?
I think you had to show a code.
How did I do the code last time?
You bring up the tablet, and then crossplay. Turn co-op off.
Oh, hang on, I hit the switch. There we go. Allow another player. Yes. Waiting for assistant. Invite friend. Here we go. There's a code for you. Can you see that?
I'm sure when it pops up. Delay.
0115969. We go full screen. That might help too.
On my way.
Yes, most excellent. Meanwhile, Jay, you're sneaking in for a bit. How are you doing? And Frosty, you're going to be lurking. You're a sleepy Frosticle. That is okay. We're not going to be going for too long tonight anyway, because Cookie's got to disappear. All right. So, this is a filthy, filthy skate park. So we've got to try and not clean anything fully.
So I think the hardest things to not clean fully will probably be these rails because they're the smallest. Okay. Everything else is a very large section, and there's also like over here there's graffiti, which if you use like your white one, it doesn't even wash it off, and so you could almost clean that full panel, and the graffiti will still stay there.
Okay.
So.
All right. So shall we do the rails first then? Shall we?
Maybe leave them last, because if we accidentally overspray cleaning the ground, I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, well, I was gonna. You do the hard ones first, that being the rails. Then it's going to be less of a slap in the balls if we get so far. And I like your idea of using the white nozzle, because that's going to leave pieces of dirt everywhere.
Yeah.
It's also going to be really annoying to finish it off, right?
Yeah, it's probably going to be like doing the job twice.
All right, let's see then. Let's see if we can achieve some achievements. So, Jay, you're doing okay, but you're sore from physio and working on writing. Ooh, what are you writing? Cool. Fan head cannon. That looks very clean, Cookie. Don't get it too clean.
There's a section on top which is you can't actually reach. So all these wall sections have top sections that count as the wall.
All right, so we don't bother cleaning the walls, the tops then. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and then we can just kind of touch them up. I think that'll be like a fine tuning, I reckon.
Okay. The other thing is if we can leave the graffiti on, that works too, right? Or that helps too?
Yep. Yeah, it counts as dirt.
Alright. How's your weekend so far, my dude?
It's most
Because you're not alone now, right? You've got the missus and the baby cookies back again.
Yeah. I shouldn't sound so excited, hey.
Right, she's not listening. She can't tell, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I worked today, so that was just 7 till 2:30.
Yeah.
So I was up at 5 to catch the train in.
Oof, that is rough, my dude.
Get used to it.
That's true. I am not at all used to that. I'm not a morning person. But Jay, you are co-writing a Lovecraftian-inspired cyberpunk drama. Just writing some side stuff. Dude, there is lots of potential in that. So many ways you can go with that. Very good. I've never been a writer myself. I want to dabble at some stage.
How far across on the line do you reckon 95% is?
We got it at 95. I thought you said 90.
I'll look it up.
That's getting harder and harder.
We will definitely run out of time before the end of the... where is it? Yeah, it's 95% of a job.
95%. All right, that is got a lot more precision about it then. So Jay, for you it started as a storium game, but has exploded into something we're hoping to make into a novel. Well, that's pretty cool. The game itself must have some good lore and story then. And Lyrium, what would I write about? Honestly, I don't know. I've always had this idea in the back of my mind that rolls, and it comes from a lot of the dreams that I have. It's like some kind of supernatural, spooky, but superhero-y kind of story. But it's like kind of lives in the real world, and it like has some sort of physics-based and realistic scientific-based reasoning for supernatural phenomena, such as light, telekinesis, vampires, whatever. So part of that inspiration for making the realism a thing comes from Mass Effect. I really love the lore in Mass Effect and how everything sort of connects, like shields work from Mass Effect fields, ships and their ability to levitate anywhere comes from Mass Effect fields, and how all of that works is kind of pretty cool. So Jay, yours is also hella queer. Need more queer visible media. Well, I was going to say there's a lots of opportunity for sort of your queer type stuff when it comes to like cyberpunk-esque types of universes, right? Because you've got such freedom and technology in those days to change whatever. But on top of that, theoretically, a society that's also very open to it, which is very true in Cyberpunk 2077, because you can make yourself any combination of feminine or masculine voice, body, and genitalia. You can mix and match it to suit yourself as you choose. And then obviously there are romance partners in that game, and those romance partners have a preference, so it depends on what you've chosen as to what that unlocks for you. But I think overall that's a very good system. So with your with Cyberpunk, yeah, it's full of big societal changes in a feasible way. Yes, I agree. Very good, that. I really like how they embodied a lot of that as well in Cyberpunk 2077. So it's a very adult-focused game because you've got sexuality being very fluid, and then you've also got, you know, sex and promiscuity and whatever else also being very open and fluid. So that's pretty cool. Well, so far we've cleaned 8% Bookie.
Yeah,
Delirium.
Slow grind.
Yeah. Delirium, the other thing, well, the other couple of things I've got in my mind to try and have a go at writing is, one is children's storybooks, because so many people are doing that, and I've got a couple of unique ideas I would like to apply to that. That would be fun. That would be intended to also give some enjoyment to the parental readers. Then finally, I would love to create my own game, my own video game, using like the Unreal Engine. It wouldn't be super complex. I think it could have potential, and then trying to write some story in there. So it would be fantasy based, so you know, the whole humans, dwarves, elves type stuff, the different classes, things being a bit more, I guess, cliche or standard as to what you'd expect, but with still some unique elements thrown in there. But trying to come up with how the universe works and what it all means, that I'm still not figured out yet. But if I was to even have a go at that, that's such a massive endeavor. I've still got Oblivion and Skyrim mods I need to finish first. And then if that does take off, then there's an expansion. You can do like a Warhammer, right? We've got Warhammer, but then you've got Warhammer 40k. Well, I would do Shades Fantasy Game, and then Shades Fantasy Game, you know, 50k, where it's, you know, in the future. And all modern, but you've still got magic and all the classes somehow. That would be fun. But unfortunately, yeah, it is a lot of effort, dude. It's so much effort. Even just making these mods I'm making for Skyrim and fucking Oblivion take a lot of effort. Wonder how long it took them to make this game, because this game is relatively simple when you think about it.
Lots of level design, like you got to label everything and make sure it all hits correct.
Yeah. It's like just a gun shooting objects. What are you doing? So at the moment I'm doing walls, but I'm leaving the walls not... Sorry, the tops of the walls not done.
Yeah.
But I suspect we might need to do little bits more of some of those walls.
Yeah, I touched up this one over here. I'm trying to, like, you can see where I'm taking the blue line, the little line to.
Oh yeah, this wall is done within an inch of its life.
Yeah, well, I imagine that would be 90% would be like, roughly.
I reckon you're on like 98%, but yeah. I think you're on it. So Jay, if we need an illustrator for any children's books, hook you up. Duly noted. The other thing I want to try and do is I've still got so much basic video editing and video publishing that I need to do. I need to get a virtual assistant, but the problem is I'm not monetized on YouTube yet. So it would all just be out of my pocket and still a risk. So I'm waiting to hopefully monetize, grow big enough to enable monetization on YouTube later this year. And we'll see how much that can bring in. If I can at least come out at zero so that I can pay for whatever costs to get someone to help edit and publish stuff. Or at least the publishing, man, although the publishing doesn't take too long. I don't know, I've gotten pretty efficient in my processes. I use pieces of automation, I use templates for everything. So I can edit and upload videos for YouTube for the high definition stuff for Let's Play content quite efficiently, and it looks pretty good. Well, good enough. There's still a lot of effort involved, and it still takes a lot of time. I need to get to the point where I can have a virtual assistant help with that. But I need income coming through to pay for that. Even if it means I don't make any money, at least like if I could at least pay for a VA to keep it moving along, that would be the dream. And Jay, so with level design, UI, co-op functionality, and all the assets, you'd be surprised how long a simple concept can take. Yeah. But this game maybe did take a little while. It's so good though. I love the concept of this game. It's so simple, but it's so effective. The game I would like to make would be like a fantasy kind of semi-MMO cross-platform.
I'd like to know how the companies make the money by having this stuff on Games Pass, because I think this is like $31 or something. Whereas I'm just playing, well, I'm not free because I'm paying for Games Pass.
I'm not sure how it works for Games Pass, because it's possible that Microsoft has to put some kind of bill based on how much a game is played. With Epic, with the Epic Game Store, as an example, where the game is free, Epic themselves are just having to foot the bill to the developers.
Yep.
And that's why Epic's got an interesting business model, because their plan is to not make money for like at least 5 years or something. They're just trying to build a user base, and it's working because now they've got a very big user base, customer base, and they make money from the Unreal Engine as well. And Fortnite, all the money they make from Fortnite has also helped them get started in this. But yeah, geez, they spend a lot of cash each year on the free games each month. Grizz says, Grizz wife wants you to get the edge that we missed. It's doing her head in. You mean this here? Is this better?
Doing it on purpose.
Sorry, Grizz wife. Better? Is it this edge? Yes.
This is so much quicker with two people.
Oh yeah, I kind of have hit the point where I don't think I want to play this game on my own anymore.
I've been playing it as I've been watching your stream. It's been my because I can just kind of.
Yeah.
There's no thinking involved. It's just
it's very it's very multitaskable, right?
Just catch up some YouTube videos I want to watch.
It's true. Have them on in the background or off to the side. I do need to get some more community game action happening. Do you have what's it called? The Division 2?
I do not. I played a lot of the Division 1, but I just never followed through to the sequel.
Only played the Division 2. I haven't played it in so long. Oh yeah, Lyrium, the floor is dirty too. Yeah, no. That's the thing. That's what's weird about these scenarios. Everything is like disgustingly covered to the point where it's a bit unrealistic how filthy everything actually is. I think they should do like a more realistic mode where there's little bits of dirt on some things and other things are completely covered.
Yeah.
It's like there's been an absolute shit tornado or shit-nado or something go through.
You go really over the top and have to start at the top and the dirty water washes down and then like real power washing.
Yeah. That's I was thinking about this the other day. They have not implemented any of that. There's no water running, there's no water supply, there's no wash this nice and clean down here and then wash up here and all the dirty water flows down and ruins what you've just done.
Yeah, no hoses getting tangled between the different workers.
Yeah, that would be realistic. That would be too annoying. I'm glad that's not in the game, to be honest. Someone had a really intense spicy curry for lunch or something. Oh, something like that. Yes, definitely.
Maybe a tar truck was driving past and blew up.
Yeah, that's it. Mythbusters blew it up. Where are you, by the way? Oh, you're all the way over there.
Working on the floor.
Oh yeah, is that floor all one piece?
So there's gallery floor, and then I think it's skate park floor. But then like all the areas, like all the ramps are their own individual things. The stairs.
Right, just gotta pay attention. Yeah. Like this wall that I'm on now, I just realized too. I nearly... Oh, fucked it. Cookie, I fucked it.
You did.
I thought this was part of that. There's not. This piece of wall is its own fucking wall. God damn it. Alright, well, I guess we're skipping the achievement then.
Yeah. Let's go hard into cleaning mode.
Sorry, man.
That's right. Yeah, playing in somebody else's game, I still keep the money that I earn here.
Oh, do you? That's
Yeah,
cool. So you get your own copy of all the cash, or do we go halves? How does it even work?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I just know
But
it
he's
was
not
very
complaining.
cashed up when I jumped back into like the 3rd level in my game.
Yeah, I'm guessing because it's a career mode still. Whereas I guess maybe if you do the other mode, it's... You don't keep that?
Yeah, not sure. But then you're limited by the number of stars that you've earned in what you can buy.
Yeah.
I'm up
Do you
to the
get
next
star?
Overwatch
Do you
task.
get? I was gonna say, do you get stars as well for the stuff we team up for?
No, just the money.
Okay. And Jay's saying, well, Grizz Rife will be happy that we're doing everything cleaned properly now. For that achievement, do you have to do it on... You can do it on any level?
Yeah, I tried on the motorbike, but then you have to be so precise because there's so many small parts.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I was thinking maybe the golf cart, because that might, but you still got like the tires, the mirrors, one little off spray, and then ding.
Yeah, you've accidentally cleaned too much. Did you try a smaller pressure washer?
No, I didn't. I didn't put that much effort into it.
Yeah. This graffiti's pretty hard to get off. Hey, Grizz wife is happy that things are being made super clean. Very good. Well, if anything, or at least we are a crowd pleaser. Going to be up to Frosty to get the achievements on this. By the way, I'm super glad that I'm not an achievement collector. Do you know how many achievements there are in, like, all games ever?
Many.
Like, World of Warcraft introduced them back in the day. And I remember some of our friends trying to collect them. Mum was like, nope, not even bothering. Nope.
Have you seen Towers or Pungeon's Xbox achievement list?
Mm-mm.
Why can I not jump on the top of this wall?
Is it good?
It is a very high number.
Right.
In fact, I can quickly jump over and look at it.
Does the graffiti count towards much? I don't feel like the graffiti's doing much.
No, it takes a long time to clean off, and it's very low in amount.
Low value, so if we just focus on the dirt then?
Well, you still need to remove it to get you 100%.
There's always a bit, you know, you never need to get it quite perfect. It just sort of fills in some of it for you.
He has 160,000 gamer score on Xbox.
Is that good?
Well, compared to me, and I've played a reasonable amount, I would say, I've got 69,000.
Hmm.
So.
All right.
And that's going back all the way to, it's like 2000, I'm trying to think, 2007, 2008, so maybe earlier. I'm trying to think back when Xbox achievements and earning them was a thing.
So Jay, how does it remove the graffiti and not the paint underneath? Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier when we just started washing it. The only answer I've got is science. And, you know, trying not to be too realistic. This is a bitch to get off.
Use the turbo nozzle.
For graffiti, is that better, is it?
Yeah. Smaller the stream at higher pressure.
Yeah, you got to get it right on there though, but... Oh, yeah, that Oh yeah, I guess if you trace the tiny little lines, it can work.
You can stand a bit back a bit further. Oh, and last stream, I think you asked about the extension rods and were they worth it?
Yeah.
Very much worth it, because you can, well, say you got a large area like the floor, you can stand back and do big, wide, sweeping arcs, and it cleans efficiently. Whereas without that,
so would you like me to purchase some extender?
Yeah, go to large
nozzle extenders. How is it? Equipment?
Yes.
Yes. Now we're using the Urban 2.
Yep.
There's no extendy. Oh, there it is. The long extension. Then there's the short extension.
Yeah, just go the long. Nobody needs that short nonsense.
The long nozzle. Dylan, can power washing actually remove graffiti in real life? I believe it can. It does depend on what's underneath it, because you will also likely just strip paint and whatever else underneath it. But if you've got a paint base where the graffiti hasn't stuck or adhered as strongly, then maybe. This is one of the problems with graffiti.
I remember the fateful day I took the pressure washer to the front of my car, and
you stripped some stuff off, did you?
Yeah, some little chips had taken, you know, just those little bits, and then away the paint went.
Yep. Yep, you got to be careful. I have a pressure washer, a power washer at home. It's like medium grade. It's just electric, so it's not petrol, so it's not off its tits crazy, but you know, it washes stuff pretty hard. And then I was using it to clean something. I don't know if it's the car or something. Then like, oh, I've got some dirt on my hand. Oh, hang on, I'll just put my hand in front of the nozzle. I just autopiloted, because I know my brain, don't put your hand in front of a pressure washer or a power washer. But my brain just goes, water stream, wash dirt off hand. And yes, that hurt a lot, and I'm very lucky I didn't do more damage. Hand was tingling for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it made me physically cringe.
Yeah. Would have been worse. I didn't lose any... Like, I think because I only did it for, like, so quick that I finally reflexed out and stopped it, but... Yeah, they be dangerous. Gotta be careful. If you're ever using one, you should really wear eye protection as well, because you can get stuff ricocheted back and hit you in the face. But no one ever does. As in, no one ever does wear eye protection. Lucky our dudes are. We're wearing full suits right now. Hey?
I'm a pretty safe man these days.
Yeah, good on
you. It's
you.
retrained the brain.
That's it. Safety first. A lifetime of consequences. But yes, that definitely hurt my hand. Fortunately, the next day it was okay. But yeah, pretty dumb thing to do. I was so annoyed at myself. Because I can't believe I just autopiloted and put my hand in front of the power washer beam. Grizz is dropping a lurk mode. No worries, dude. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, this wasn't really an autopilot moment, but might have been last weekend or the weekend before. I was belt sanding some stuff. So belt sander was up, like on its back. I've
never done that. I have a belt sander. Yeah, I've never done the belt sander mounted on its back. It just sounds like it's a recipe for for disaster. But what happened?
I've got timber like screwed in, and then it sits, front of it sits in, and I've got it clamped down on the exhaust pipe, and so it doesn't go anywhere. So that wasn't the issue. That was still rock solid. But I just had my hoodie on. I was just working away, not thinking, and I needed to get on this odd angle to what I was sanding, and I just moved my hand across the belt sander, and it pulled in my sleeve.
Oh, really?
Yeah, grabbed it good and proper, and was it's a little like baby belt sand. It was stuff that I, like grabbed and I couldn't pull it out. But I just had that moment of like, what do I do right now?
Yeah.
It's sitting there going like, "Arr!" It burnt a hole or like melted through the actual sandpaper because it got caught on the rubber roller, and yeah, I think it probably like I reacted quick enough. It was probably off within like a second and a half, but just that it felt like forever watching it try and spin. Come and have a look at the line left on this gallery floor, and to me it looks spotless. I'm like, what have I missed?
Right there,
like that
right
tiny...
there. Yeah, you're right. This is a very good looking floor. Why is it not just ticked it over for you?
Tiny, tiny little dots.
Oh, that's pretty rude. What about under the bench here? No, that's all clean too.
Yeah, I thought I tried pretty good there.
Yeah. The highlighty jig is not showing anything either.
There we go.
Got it. Got it. So did you cop any injuries, Cookie? You've caught everyone's attention with that now.
Just a slight little graze on the wrist where it kind of like slammed into the sander before I like reacted and pulled my wrist back. So very minimal.
Would have been worse. So what were you sanding on it? Trying to sand on it?
Decorations for the wedding. The little.
Oh, that's right. Your wedding's coming up shortly, isn't it?
Yeah.
This weekend? Next weekend?
4 weeks away.
4 weeks. Something about August. I remember something about August. That's all I remember.
So yeah, they're little like cage-looking things that sit around candles, and I was trying to sand the inside lip, and so the front edge of the belt sander is best for that, where it bends around. Just the brain stopped thinking logically.
It's the problem with these kinds of tools, right? And Delenn says, "Congratulations." And Delenn, no, I'm not invited to the wedding. Awkward. No, it's not awkward.
I expect to be invited to yours though, clearly.
You what?
I expected to be invited to yours one day though, clearly.
Yes, naturally. Well, pre-congrats. It's kind of funny to think that you're not actually already married. You've got everything else already. You've got the house, you've got the kids.
Still renting. But not quite the house.
Okay, fair enough. You will. On stairs, and then they got these stairs. There we go, stairs done. Awesome.
Such a satisfying ding.
It is. And I really like how the fact you don't have to get every single tiny bit, like it rounds it up for you. That's very good. Good game design.
Although that gallery floor seemed to think we needed to get every bit.
Well, that's true. That gallery floor was a dick. Bench is also being a bit of a dick.
Yeah, there's these oily stains on this gallery bench, and they are very sticky. Even with the turbo, I'm having to go over them twice. I think I've nailed them now.
Gonna get every little bit of... I can't even see. Oh, hang on. Underneath, there's a bit there. Come on, give Cookie his ding. Sounds weird. Out of context. Oh, here's a whole chunk missed. Yes, there we go. Got it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. All right. Have you had any other weird or awkward injuries? Because you deal with power tools all the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got myself with the nail gun a few times when I was doing carpentry back in the day. It hit the knot in the end of the timber, and it comes out in the angle and smashes.
Yeah. Yep.
It's I reckon it's one of the most painful injuries that you can, because it pierces, but it also bruises from like the blunt force of it. It's very nasty bruises from that. I did stand on a nail, went straight through the bottom of my boot.
Oh, yeah, I've done that
Went
once.
in about 15, 20 mil into the ball of my foot. Early on in my carpentry apprenticeship, when I hadn't really gained general tool knowledge, like, you kind of do some things and you nearly cut your hand off. You're like, all right, I've learnt that lesson now.
Yep, I've nearly lost an appendage or a limb. Yep, I've learnt something there. Yes, very good.
Yeah, I've got a lovely scar on my right wrist. It's still there now. I can see it. Where I was doing decking and I put in a nail, it bent, so I went to pull it out. The head of the nail came off, but it was then stuck in the claw of my hammer. And so I've been using a chisel to separate the decking boards, like apply pressure to space them. And so I was just swinging the chisel to knock the head of this nail out, and of course it gave way, the chisel kept moving and sliced straight through my arm.
Oof. Nice.
You just stand back and you go, that could have been so much worse.
It could have been worse. He got away with it, lucky. Lyrium T had a guy walk into your old workplace. It was a medical center. With a nail, like, stabbed through his hand, and he was so casual about it. Wow. Depends on where it gets you.
Yeah,
Finger injuries. I hate finger injuries because there's so many nerves in your fingers. It hurts way more than, like, arm injuries, by comparison.
I have my left thumbnail doesn't grow straight because of one day I was using 70mm screws. And as in a rush, didn't pre-drill. I was holding my hand, turns out to be about 70mm away from the tip of my drill. And so when I slipped, of course, following the perfect arc of the screw, which had just started to penetrate, I slammed the Phillips head bit of my drill into my thumbnail, and it, like, punctured through just at the cuticle.
Yeah.
And that one, I felt
would have been like blood blisters and everything.
Like I almost vomited.
Really?
Yeah, that was probably one of the most painful injuries I've had.
Times like this, I mean, I've got most of the power tools in my garage that I use periodically, but that's just for like hobby stuff or handyman type stuff around the house. Like, I don't deal with them every day. And I sort of think sometimes maybe I'm lucky that I'm not having to use dangerous things every day. Having said that, I've got many cuts on my fingers over the years building PCs. There's lots of sharp edges, especially in cheap cases. If you're ever buying a PC, get a proper expensive brand name case. They're a lot safer.
Sadly, that logic does not apply to expensive appliances. I'm currently on a site with very high-end, like Gaggenau, which is like $10,000 ovens and induction cooktops and like $7,000 coffee machines. And fitting off their ovens is almost like risking your life with how sharp the edges are on their enclosures at the back.
Yeah, because you paid top dollar. You want the sharp edges.
It's
Dalen.
like,
Sorry, go on.
Paper cuts on the steroids.
Oh, yeah. Delen's pretty sure someone told her that she accidentally got a sewing machine needle through her thumb. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that kind of stuff too, because you're doing the thing and just getting a sewing machine just punching it through your nail and into your finger.
I'm sure you'd go through a couple of times before you realised, like you'd...
Oh, that's true. It's going fast. Oh, you're making it worse. Oh, no thank. Unless it breaks, maybe you can go through and break so it doesn't go through again. But then it's stuck in there, so I don't know if that's better or worse.
Stabbing your fingernail with like a broken knife in there.
Yeah, then it's just blunt forcing its way through. Yep, that's true. That's very graphic. I have a very overactive imagination. I see these things as you say them. It's not cool. Feel better than actually feeling it, I guess. And Jay, he says your home echo teacher scared you into being overcautious about it. Yeah. It's fair. Hopefully there's not too many queasy people watching.
I can keep going with more of my injuries if you'd like, as the list continues.
Do we want to hear more Cookie's injuries? We probably do. Who doesn't want to hear injuries, right? How many more have you got?
If I looked at each body limb, I could probably see the scar and remember the story. I've got one in the webbing of my left hand, similar to the screw one with the Phillips bit, but I think it was a 2 or a 3mm screw bit. Drilling into hardwood, and it snapped, and I was still applying the pressure, and so it like broken drill smashing through the webbing and twisting. It like shredded the inside and like just came through the other side.
It went through the webbing.
Ugh.
Are
Still hurt less than the thumbnail.
you just bad at your job? Like, what's going on here, man?
Maybe I did choose the wrong life career.
I wonder about my brother, because Sparkle Sauce and our brother is a builder, and we know he's got a few little injuries and stuff, but I wonder if he's had as many dramas.
They're all little though, like they're nothing that stops you from working. Although the nail through the bottom of the shoe stopped me working. That was enough on that day.
So Dylan, Cookie asks, so you're a carpenter? Never realised it was so dangerous. You're a Sparky now, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got both trades.
He's collecting the set. Why did you? Because did you finish your carpentry and then switch?
Yes. Yeah, I was contracting for about a year.
Why'd you switch?
Saw the light.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You're like, oh nah, Sparky sounds way better.
Yeah, no, I'm walking around site, lugging around big chunks of timber, and they're coming up with a little saw, cutting a hole in the plaster and twisting some wires together, and earning twice as much. And I'm like,
yeah, but those wires can kill you.
Yeah, I've had a sample of that too.
Yeah, if I was going to be a tradie, it would have been a Sparky. I would have been an electrician.
You can do the non-deadly stuff where you do the building control management stuff where it's all 12 volt, 24 volt.
Oh, yeah.
You can practically have to lick the cable to get a charge out of it.
So you're telling me I can lick cables as part of my job? Sign me up.
And you can. I'm not saying you should.
Jay, your personal best was a four-wheeler bike accident as a kid that ended up with the bike in an electrical fence after the handlebar ended up in your gut. Oh, that sounds pretty horrific.
Thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, quad bikes are dangerous, especially whilst going backwards. That's why a lot of the new ones have a speed limiter. So when you go in reverse, it's very slow unless you hit the little override speed button. Like, why have they got this button? I've got to push this button to go in reverse every time. No. That button is to make it go slow because you can flip them so easily. I've watched my cousin do it twice whilst trying to show off. He goes, hey, check this out. I can do a reverse donut. I'm like, I'm getting off first. All right, now that I'm off, go for it. And yep, there it is, right on cue. You've rolled it. And then the next year, because I used to just see him at Christmas time, the next year he fucking did it again. It's like, hey, I want to show you this donut thing. I'm like, yep, I'm getting off again. I think he'd forgotten he'd already shown me the year before, and I think that he'd also forgotten to tell me that he'd rolled it the year before.
Maybe he forgot from the brain damage from the first one.
Well, he managed to roll away. So, I don't know. It was funny to watch, but I'm like, I'm so glad I was smart enough to get off the damn bike. So, Jay, the fence turned out to be on, but you avoided getting shocked, and so did your sister who was riding with you. Really? The guy who grabbed the fence to get the bike out wasn't as lucky. So he copped a few boots, a few electrical charges.
I've had a couple of goes off an electric fence. Nothing too crazy though.
I seem to be like electrically prone. Like I'm an absolute wuss. I'm an absolute pansy when it comes to electrical shocks. But I also seem to get them very often. Like, I'll get them just walking around a shopping centre.
Like a build up static.
Yeah, build up a static charge and then, like, you know, get onto an escalator or just touch a stair rail and... Bzzzt. Even just walking around the office, I used to get it. Like a little Pikachu. Except, instead of zapping other things, I'm the one that's copping the brunt of the fucking zap. Maybe it's my shoes. Yeah, it could be, but... I wasn't wearing rubber shoes, but I was wearing shoes that are a bit more, like, flexible and comfortable, so I have always assumed it's the shoes. The other thing is, I also have, like, I'm not very hairy, but I have very fine body hair, and it's quite long. So instead of being thick and gnarly, it's, like, very fine and a little bit lengthy. So I can actually generate a bit of static in my clothes, depending on the clothes I'm wearing as well. There's one time...
Boxers or a briefs, man, because those silky boxers.
No, well, I wear boxers, but... or boxer briefs, but I don't wear ones that are satin. I wear, like, you know, cotton or whatever, so... Yeah, no zapping any pieces down there, thank you very much. But I used to have a hoodie that was... it was, like, very synthetic, and I remember taking it off in the dark once. And, you know, sometimes you can hear these little zappy noises when you take off certain pieces of clothing. Well, this thing was making zappy noises. Because it was dark, it was actually lighting up like little sparks of static electricity. So, since then, I've avoided a lot of synthetic materials. And Dylan, your friend had this story of riding a bicycle with a guy and fell off his bike. The whole front of his body rubbed on the ground. And the guy's nipple fell off.
Oh.
Oh. The way you said fell off just makes it worse somehow. Ugh. Static crotch shock does not sound fun. Yeah, so that's right. So I don't wear satin stuff. I wear all natural cotton. Gotta protect the junk. So you're doing the floor here, are you, Cookie?
Yeah, just doing nice big sweeping arcs with the extended rod.
Oh, you got the extendy roddy doodad. Do this ramp.
Do it the
I like doing
saves walking.
Well, no, it's efficiency, man. And apparently the hospital can't do anything about the nipple that fell off. So what's he got now? Just a scarred patch, or a cybernetic nipple? Yes, he's got AM/FM radio now. It's just got to go.
Well, you know Shazza.
Yeah, Laurie. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that working bee go, by the way?
Good. He didn't end up making it, but
To his own working bee.
No, I organised it.
At his house.
It was for Dean. It was for Dean.
Ah, sorry, it's for Dean. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Shazza.
Because he got his left nipple pierced, and then
yes, I remember that.
Caught, and so it kind of got damaged, and so his nipple was kind of big. Then he got it re-pierced with like a bar,
right?
But they did it wrong, and so it's was enlarged or swollen, but that swelling never went away. And then I think it happened again where that got knocked or pulled out, and he's like, "No, I still really liked it," and so he got it re-pierced again.
So now he's got like a really lopsided nipple.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 4 times the size of his other one.
He loves a bit of large nipple action. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what people want. Who you know, maybe the ladies like the big lopsided nips. So I agree with Lyrium, not the nipple. Jay, you don't get much static, but you remember you used to get zapped from your car door. Yes, that's right. When I had the silver wagon, that used to do it a bit too. So yeah, I think I do just generate electrical stuff. So I just need to be careful if there's lightning storms around, or if I happen to be hanging out with Thor.
He just use you as a power rod.
Right. Not that I don't want to be struck by lightning. Well, that would be a cool story. Much damage. If I could throw lightning, that's another story. I'd be all up for that.
And control of Mjolnir. Sure, that's how it works.
Yes.
Alright, I've tried so hard to be good with this skate parkour, and it's done it to me again. Although I can see a few patches I've missed.
Hey, there you go. You got it. Nailed it. Yeah, on that bench before, you know, the bit that you were missing was up the end here underneath this loop here. So just here, that's the bit that you needed to get. So as soon as I hit that, it went ding.
Sneaky little bits.
Sneaky little bastard.
There is another achievement you can do here, which, I might be able to get it, is to shoot this ball out of the,
I was messing around with that before, actually.
Oh, so close. You got to build up with speed.
We've each got our own copy of the ball, though, don't we?
Yes.
What if you shoot where I shoot?
There you go. You should get the achievement now. I just shot it out of mine, unless you specifically have to get yours.
I didn't get anything pop up. How did you do it? Did you just get a run up?
Yeah, so you got to like get it to roll forwards, then back, and then like chase it along so it gets the whole. I used the red nozzle. Red nozzle is a bit more controlled.
Right, red nozzle instead of turbo.
But if you ever want to do it single player, it's a lot easier. I'm guessing maybe synchronization issues, but the ball freely moves in single player, whereas co-op it's a bit laggy.
Alright, no, I don't care too much about it. So Lyrium asks, have you seen the scars lightning does? It's pretty intense. Is that where it's like it sort of fans out? I think I have seen
like
it.
A tree root system.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Well, Lyrium says it looks like snowflakes, really branchy. Yes, yes. So it's like tree roots or tree branches or snowflakey. Yeah. Yeah, they look cool, but yeah, I bet it gains. Yeah, not worth it. Bing, bing, ching. Alright, we're on a roll. Alright, what other weird injuries have you got, Cookie? I wonder if Vito's seen any interesting ones from his military days. Oh, I'll have to ask him next time he's on.
I've got one. I mean, I'm sure there's one on the back of my head, but I can't see it through the hair. But it's faint now because it was a long time ago, but I can still see it on my right hand. I was chopping wood on the farm with Dad.
Yep.
And had a windfall branch, but it was still caught on another branch. So it was like leaning up against a tree on an angle.
Yep.
And so Dad was just lopping off the lower limbs into sections, and I was just walking up, picking them up, like as we normally do in the rhythm. I wasn't really thinking, and he'd started to cut the limb so it would fall.
Mm-hmm.
And being completely oblivious to this, I just walked in, bent down to grab one of the logs, and the whole
thing fell on top of you.
Yeah, smacked down across the back of my head, and then fell down over my hand.
Oh, how old were you?
Early high school, I reckon.
Ugh.
So, what, 13, 14, 15? Around that age. Dad just had a look and was like, yeah, you're bleeding, but it's not deep, keep working.
Yeah, but also the impact that comes with it.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Did. I'm still alive, so all good.
Still alive, that's all that matters. What if you were quadriplegic? Into highly controversial topics. Maybe we'll stay away from some of those topics.
It's like I'd still be here playing power washing, but maybe not. Not if it was quad.
Quad. Yeah, like that. Imagine that.
Get a chip put in my brain and I can control the computers wirelessly.
Yeah, that's it. Give me a neural interface.
That's it.
Aimbot. Noobs with my own brain.
I wonder how accurate that could be.
I reckon it could get there. Neural controls. Yeah, it's doable. Bing. Bing is nice. Would we upload our brain to a robot? Here's the thing. I think the short answer for me is yes. But the thing that still bothers me a little bit is, would it be a copy or would it be a transference? Because if it's a copy, I'm just creating another shade, another Ollie in that robot. Whereas I'm still here, stuck where I am. And then the only escape for this copy, the original, is death. And yes, there's still another copy that floats around in the world, but it's not me.
You'd be a copy at the point of copy, but from then on you would be robot shade and shade.
Oh yeah, that's true. That copy is still fully shade and whatever else. And good on that guy. But I'm still here. I'm not moved, I'm still present here. I'm still trapped in whatever I'm doing now. So I would always want to transfer. I want to cut and paste, not copy paste.
Well, why don't you like a cut and copy back, and then you are the robot? Then how would you know? Because like your copy would maybe think that they were not transferred, and then you'd be angry, and oh my god.
So when you say cut, you mean just kill the source? So upload me and then shoot me in the face?
No, like,
that's still not a transference. That's a copy and a delete.
Do a Control X and then Control
V.
C, Control V. So like Control X, Control V. No wait, yeah, Control X, Control V, Control C, Control V. And so that way you have been transferred and then copied.
Why are you doing the extra step? Why are you doing the copy step?
Because then you are the robot.
Why aren't you just like cutting and pasting into the robot a transference and that's it?
Why not have a robot friend that is you?
Oh yeah, I'm down for that too. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you can do the transference step, that's all that matters. If there's a copy of me, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I think I'd get along well with a copy of myself. Unlike Arnold Rimmer in Red Dwarf. So Delenn, maybe even if it's you just cut and paste, how can you be sure that's even still you? Well, that's true. As long as it's close enough and it still feels the same, I'm okay with that. Even as we get older, we lose bits of ourselves. We forget things. We forget memories that we used to have. Our personality does change and evolve. Things we learn change and evolve. Now you look at a photo of yourself from like 10 years ago, you know, you're a different person now with different memories and experiences. So if the transference loses some bits, hopefully not too many, or alters some bits, it's still okay with it as long as it's not too extreme. It's still better than death. But the thing for me is I still want it to be a transference, not just a copy. Well, depends on what I'm trying to achieve. If I'm trying to escape like a quadriplegic or terminally ill body, then yeah, I want to transfer. If the body's perfectly fine, then it's not such a big deal, I guess. So, Lyrium, would you make a robot like you, look like current you, or some kind of super cool android thing? Ooh, that'd be an interesting thing. I reckon you'd want to make it look a bit like you, but maybe like an optimized version. I think if you go for something too foreign, it would feel like, or maybe trigger some body dysmorphia stuff. Because that's a real disease that some people have, or disease might not be the right word, but some people are born feeling like a certain part of their body is not part of their body. It's a documentary on it ages ago. It was really weird. It's like a guy had, like, you know, below his left knee downwards, he felt alienated. It wasn't part of his body. People have this. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So Lyrium, 16-year-old you and current me isn't the same person. 16-year-old you was very cringe. See, and I'm very similar, right? 16-year-old me was a very, very different person to what I am now. Still a lot of the same overarching ethos. Still have changed a bunch. Changed, grown, improved, I reckon. And Jay, you'd want to heckin' cool design a cool chassis for yourself. You need to get up like a cool looking character designer, right? And Delenn, yeah, is the past and future you still you as you are today? I think not. I think future me is different to current me. It just depends on how much different. I think some people don't like to change and don't change much, or some people are incapable rather, to use the correct words. That's why there's this
mind games.
What's that? Sorry.
Stuck in the high school mind games and.
Yeah, well.
Like in the past.
Yeah, some people just don't change well, right? And they can't. Whereas I have changed a lot. I've reflected on a lot, and I think it's turned me into a better person. And people don't want to change, don't want to reflect. And that's why there's like things, right? Some people, for example, get a lot of anxiety or sometimes get those cringy moments when they think back to something they've done in their past or something they've said. You're like, oh, that's so cringy, or can't believe I did that, or that was so bad. The fact that you're thinking and feeling that is kind of, it's annoying and bad, but it's also kind of a good thing because it means that you're able to reflect and thus you've changed or grown as a person. Or you've grown and learnt enough that you wouldn't do that same thing again.
That's me thinking back of all my early 20s.
So, Delenn, past, yes, got that one. Was it just our narratives of who we are holding our identity together? Well, then we get, what is identity? You know, what makes you, you? Is it just a collection of memories and ways of thinking? Is that all we are? Just an organic computer system full of experiences, memories, and knowledge and skills. That's all it is. Don't know. Jay says even biologically we're different people after a long enough time. Yes, that's true. Our cells all replace themselves over time. So even your organs, after X number of years, are fully replaced with a new set of cells eventually. Sorry, what were you going to say?
So, but even where's like all the conscious or identity stored? Because they're all just elements.
Right, and that's why there's all these, you know, what do you call it? Thoughts, discussions, whatever, or in experiments with the brain, like those who have lobotomies or suffer brain injuries, but still able to function. Are they still the same person? Are they changed as a person? Depends on who they are.
I haven't been listening to it for a while, but I don't even think of the name of the guy. But the short history of everything. Bill Bryson, short history of everything. Okay. And he does a whole thing on the lobotomies, like when they first discovered, like, I suppose how the brain works, and like the different injuries people received, and like how they like. I don't know, just like the super early learnings of it and how they figured it all out and the experiments they did on people and lobotomies and different parts of the brains they could poke, like open brain surgery, and it's a little scary almost, but it's very interesting.
So Delenn, talking about cringe, there's one time you told your boss she looks very good for her 50s, but she was actually 48 or 49. Well, it's still kind of a compliment, because you didn't say she looks like she's in her 50s. You're like, you look really, you know, you look really good for your 50s. That's because I'm not in my 50s. Okay, well, that makes sense.
And she's probably
Jay-
wondering what made him think that she was in her 50s, though.
Yeah, that's it. The wisdom is what it is. So if you're ever in an awkward situation like that, bring the focus to the wisdom and how knowledgeable they are. Even if you got to throw some jokes in there. Go, oh, you're just very wise. You know a lot of stuff. I assumed you were older. That's your get out of jail free card on that one. But Jay, talking about brains, you figured out you have aphantasia a few years back. Completely incapable of seeing images in your mind. So you're curious to know how people here can imagine pictures or visual stimulus. Dude, I have the fucking opposite, and it blew my mind to learn that people have aphantasia or can't do it. Or there was this mind-blowing thing I learned, like, I don't know, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that not everyone has an inner monologue either. It's the same thing. So some people don't have a voice or talking to themselves inside their head. And some people do.
What do they do then if you're not...
I know. Well, I have a very strong inner monologue. I have a very strong visual imagination. As you say things to me, I can often see it. Sparkle Sauce, my sister, thinks it's funny because you can sometimes then prank me with saying stuff that's really gross or gory, and I will see it in my own brain as a result. And it's like the complete opposite to what Jay has. So how are you so good at art and stuff, Jay, if you can't imagine it? Having said that, I'm rubbish at drawing. I can imagine and see a lot, and I have very vivid dreams that I remember all the time. But yeah, I'm not great at drawing stuff. And Lyrium's on the same page. People who don't have an inner monologue, it blew your mind. I know. How is this so? Henry and Jeannie from... Sorry?
Just going AFK 2 minutes.
No worries, dude. So Jay, for you, blank screen only, which is why people are like, what the fuck, you're an artist. Yeah, you can conceptualize creativity non-visually, and technically art skill isn't a skill of visual imagination. Well, I can attest to that because I have very little art skill, but a very epic imagination. Oops, wrong button. Come on, you little... How many little bits got left here? When you learn for physical observation. So people with no inner monologue, when they read, that's what's happening in their head because your inner monologue is reading it. Yeah, I don't know. And that's why it's funny because some of them will need to either mouth it or say it out loud more, or... I don't know. Need to get the perspective of someone who has this or doesn't have this.
If you can't see things in your mind, then how do you, like, what is a memory? If you don't, like,
feeling and experience. Jay, can you visually remember things that have happened? Like, can you visually replay something that you did or saw? Muscle memory is part of it too. So Jay, you have a very busy inner monologue. So sometimes you wish you didn't. Oh, don't worry, I get that too. Oh boy, do I get that. I think maybe it's lucky I'm an extrovert because it all sort of flows together fairly well. Whoops, I think I messed my microphone up for a second. Yeah, that was an absolute mind bender learning about that. And the funny thing was, and here's the kicker, each type of person with and without an inner monologue did not know the other type of person even existed until this revelation was sort of brought to light. So all these people who had an inner monologue did not know that people existed with no inner monologue, and those that don't have it are like, what the hell are you talking about? What's an inner monologue? Yeah,
your
fascinating, right?
Is not clear.
Hang on, is that better?
Keep talking.
Did I fix it? I've got to do a microphone wiggle sometimes.
Half of that sentence was good.
How about that?
That sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. Because I'm using the headset for Discord, and the because that's going through one machine, and then this microphone goes through the other machine for the stream. But yeah, I use this headset a lot every day, so it's getting a bit worn out. Sometimes I have to wiggle the microphone because I can flip it up to mute it and flip it down to talk. Yep. But after like 3 years, yeah, like 3 years of being heavily utilized, it's starting to show it. So Jay, you have no visual replay at all, and your long-term memory is kind of fuzzier than other people's may think. But I remember in physical location, narrative, feelings, sense, reactions, etc. It's insane to you that you have movies playing inside your head. Oh man, if you could only see some of the things I see. What about dreams and stuff? Do you have visual dreams, Jay? Because I have very vivid dreams. And I usually remember them in great detail for a long time, which is also more than most people. I've written some of them down, but sometimes it takes like a couple of days for me to forget the dream.
If I get enough sleep, I get dreams like that.
I have dreams all the time.
I often don't get that nice sleep.
I don't mind dreams, they're fun. Do interesting things. You know, I've done stuff with, you know, Hamish and Andy, Mila Kunis. I've done stuff with Matt Stone and Trey Parker. You know, so many things have happened. Last night, was it last night or the night before? I was having a dream, something about being... No, I think it was last night. I dreamt at one stage I was somehow at the snow skiing with a cat. And I was trying to look after the cat. And I think it was inspired from playing Stray late at night. And yeah, I was trying to like go skiing with a cat and then making sure the cat doesn't wander off because I didn't have a harness. I'm like, oh, we got to catch this chairlift. Don't you get upset when I grab a hold of you and make us go this way. So Leary, you had a dream... Sorry, go, Cookie.
I say, my dreams often get affected by, I suppose, life in that sense too. Because when I was playing, what have been Civ 3 back in the day? I played so much of it that in my dreams, things started to take turns. Like, actions and everything was like, all right, now it's your turn to do this. Like,
yeah, that's great.
I don't even remember the dreams now, but I just remember that concept.
Yeah,
like,
the concept, yeah.
And I was like, I need to give that game a break.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're supposed to forget dreams because your brain's supposed to eventually figure it out wasn't real and then just delete it. But sometimes it takes me a few days. So Lyra, you had a dream last night that you were on the Titanic and whilst it was sinking, but you were waterbending, trying to save as many people as you could. Yes! Put those powers to good use. For Jay, you get a lot of boring dreams. They're usually mostly realistic with the subtle oddities that don't make sense. Or you get video game UI angles and you play too much. I've had a bit of that as well. The things that get me the most is sometimes in my dreams, there's a lot of emotion carried forward. Like, I get so immersed in my dreams that, like, I'm a different person or I don't know who some of the people are around me. So I remember, would have been like 10 years ago, I had a dream once where I was engaged to one of my friends from high school. I was engaged to his younger sister. Now, this person... I've never had much to do with in life, ever. We know each other, that was it. But in this dream, we're engaged in wedding planning and doing all kinds of stuff. And when I woke up the next day, I felt artificially sort of emotionally attached to someone that I knew very little about and obviously was not in a relationship with at all. I was like artificially semi-in love with someone for half a day until the dream faded off and my brain sort of deleted the memories of the dream. It was so disorienting.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, I haven't had anything as powerful as that in a long time, but it's so weird. Kind of creepy, too. Very creepy. Maybe that's what I wanted all along. No, it's not. Nothing against this person, but I wouldn't know. I just don't know them. I know their name. You know, we went to the same high school. We would recognize each other, but that's it. Don't know this person enough to even know, hey, is that something I would have wanted all along? No idea.
I'm trying to think who it could be.
Oh, you'll never figure it out. But you know what is going to blow your mind, Cookie? You
What?
do know the person.
Well, I'm sure I do.
Yeah. So, Jay, you're not very reactionary to things. Some of your friends with vivid image-based imaginations get so grossed out or sick at imagining stuff. Yeah, that's the fucking problem I have sometimes. That's why I hate, like, you know, fail videos where people get injured. I just cringe and react too much because I sort of feel it. I emulate. I empathize too much with what's going on. Your friend sent you that meme about licking sandpaper or whatever, and he could taste. Oh, now see, now I'm there too. And you know what I just got? I got licking a fucking belt sander because Cookie was talking about his belt sander earlier. Ah.
Instead of moving my sleeve, it was the tongue that got caught, and you just...
Well, it wasn't caught. I didn't get it caught. I was making sure to put some mental guards up in my little scenario to make sure there's nothing getting caught. Oh, jeez. Yeah, now we're giving Delenn cringes as well. Well, here's something as well that I've learnt. Your tongue knows what everything feels like. Look around the room that you're in. Look at an object. Picture what it's like to feel it or taste it with your tongue. Your tongue already knows. Your brain and your tongue already knows what that item over there feels like to put your tongue on it. Except for Jay's, apparently. So for Jay, that's the whole thing is like, it's just a sentence and your brain's like, yeah, no, that would suck, but I feel nothing. Sometimes I'm envious of you. Jay, unless you have licked it, your tongue doesn't know. See, I definitely have not licked as much as Vito and Grizz make all these jokes. I've not licked every item in this room, but I know what each item would feel like.
I think I agree. I mean, I'm looking around and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you can picture that. You can picture that. You can picture that. That's weird. Why do we tell you this? Well, these are the deep discussions that we've drifted into now, Lyrium. This is what happens when we have just random stream discussions. That's great. But yes, no, I have very vivid imagination, very vivid dreams, very vivid memories. So memories as well I can replay very clearly. But it's kind of weird. I either remember things super well or don't remember things very much at all. Depending on, I guess, what it was and how important it was or something, right? Oh yeah, I'm a very visual person when it comes to a lot of stuff. I like to visualize things. Jay, scent and physical sensation are strong memory sensors. Yep, that's true. It's funny what can happen for me is scent in particular can trigger memories or vibes at the time. So even music I've found recently can do that too. Like a particular song will take me back to feeling like what was happening at the time. You know, you play like, I don't know, like Teenage Dirtbag or something, and it rewinds me back to sort of what was happening at that time of my life, what I was feeling that time of my life. Not quite as clear and vivid, but that sort of general sense, right? I think a lot of people get that though. I think most people experience that, right?
Yeah.
And Jay... Yeah,
Although
and Jay,
I'm questioning everything now.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Yeah, we're getting super philosophical. Jay, you can't smell certain scents without having a physical reaction from a past memory. Oh, okay. Well, here's the one thing that I've always wondered what it's like. Is it synesthesia or something like that, where people have such strong sense or senses that they cross over? Like some people can like smell colors. Or taste colors and things like that. I have very strong senses, so color, sound, etc. very strong, and everything to me has a visual component when described or even looking at something or talking about something. I've always got a very strong visual connection to stuff. Like even as a kid, I didn't really know what onion was, but onion was some sort of, in my head, some sort of weird, gross, blobby type thing in my mind until you actually learn what it actually is. But some people have, can't remember if it's called census, it's something like that, right? That would be absolutely wild. But there are pros and cons to it, right? Because they can see certain patterns well. So if you got like, for example, a wall of numbers and you need to see a particular pattern, well, some people will see the different numbers as different colors so they can spot things really easy. Crazy.
I have that with, I can't remember which font it is, but the word and it in a font in Microsoft Word, it stands out purple.
Oh.
It's the only time I've ever come across it. I look at a page, I'm like, I can point out all the ands instantaneously.
Ah. Nice.
Alright, we need a rail and a wall.
So, Dalen, at one point someone told you it's not usual for people to have a 3D model of things in their mind when they look at it. Like a 3D model they can spin around a different angle. I can do that. And that's one of the reasons I'm relatively good at navigating stuff in real life, but also building and deconstructing things. So Jay, you know, a heap of people can have the ability to do that. It blows your mind. You think smell actually has a stronger link to memory. You read it somewhere. And that was actually the whole smell thing with memory. That was one argument that was once posted about real books versus computers and electronic books, is because the smell of the paper and the pages could enable you to trigger memory functions better and learn better or remember things more. So what Jay's describing, though, I guess comes in different strengths. Some people can do strong 3D conceptualization, some people not so much. What's this wall here? Hang on, which wall is it? Do you want me to boost you? Yeah, jump on me. Jump on me, bruh.
Too late.
Okay.
They're not noobs like that anymore.
You mean pros? That's how pros do it, man. So, Jay, you thought they were being poetic. No, they just got mad skills.
It's not up there. Where's this dirty patch?
If we go back... Oh, there we go. Job done. I'm going to say, if we go back to one of the things before, talking about things in the past and cloning yourself or whatever, if you could go back in time, like, as you are now, go back to when you were like, I don't know, 13 or 14 or something, Cookie, would you do it? With everyone, with everything that you are now, mentally and whatever, but you're thrown back into your 13 or 14-year-old physical self and time.
I think so. I couldn't fantasize about that. Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure 2009 comes along and buy a fuckload of Bitcoin.
Store it on multiple hard drives.
Yeah, that's it. Make sure it's got backups. There's pros and cons to it, right? It does mean you have to go through high school all over again. Now, theoretically, it's different because you're smarter and wiser, but you've got all these fucking idiots around you. Having to do school and everything again. You wouldn't have your beloved children. Would you still make the choice? You just look forward to seeing them again, perhaps, would you?
But then you'd have to, like, getting into the technicalities of it, get the right sperm at the right time, the right, like, chances.
Oh, yeah. Let's assume that you would. But you'd have to then, I guess, would you maybe have to find, you know, the right partner at the right time to make it happen? Don't mess it up. Don't be weird. Don't freak her out because you know too much about her already.
Yeah.
And ruin it.
Have a pretty crazy first date, though.
It'd be the most.
So well.
It would be so memorable for them.
Lisa's probably in the room like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Delenn says, so Bright says, absolutely not. Jay says, hell no. Delenn says, hell no times 2. Jay says, my life is a mess at the moment, but hell no. Lyrium says, at least we know which stocks to invest in. And Bright says, I barely spoke in high school, to be honest. Yeah, well, I was still pretty outgoing in high school. I would potentially, I would do it. It would depend on the scenario. It's like, hey, I've got an opportunity for you. Do you want to go and do this? I'd be like, I'm not sure.
But
although the whole concept about
current you,
well,
it's cease to exist.
I guess so, because you're restarting the timeline, or you're earlier in the timeline.
But are we making 2 timelines, like a concurrent one, like this one remains and you just disappear?
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Am I still walking around a perfectly clean skate park?
I'm just pushing the soccer ball around.
Oh, that's still a small one. Clean the motorbike. Yeah, I don't know. Jay, you got harassed and bullied by students and staff at your high school. It was exhausting. Yeah, and that's part of the challenge, right? But maybe you would be better equipped to deal with it or circumvent it. Or maybe you'd just be going through all the bullshit all over again. I don't know. Right? I mean, I didn't have that level of challenge, but I did have some challenge along those lines in parts of high school. I think a lot of people did, but not to the degree you're talking about, though. But, you know, the thing is, though, if you did it, and you did do things like, you know, you bought Bitcoin and whatever else at the right time, you could be a billionaire right now, or a millionaire right now, knowing everything you know now and took it back then.
You know to set up a nice big mansion with all the stuff so you didn't have to go out during COVID.
Yeah, that's it. Brace for impact.
Go buy an island somewhere.
Yep. Dalian said, well, would you still have the same memory? Yes, I'm saying you would still have the same memory now, otherwise it's pointless just going back and living the exact same life all over again. I would want to still have the memory I've got now. Well, if you even look at what B12 had in Stray, I think even that would be a bit shit. If you're only remembering fragments of yourself. I don't think I would want that. It'd be like in a constant state of deja vu, like something's missing and you're trying to figure something out. Where the hell is the remaining dirt here? Oh, in the middle there. And Jay raises a good point. High school wasn't forever. Look how you've bloomed now, Jay. Much cooler. More awesome. Although, I'm guessing the physical injury you've got, you could probably happily go without. But that's not forever either, right? This mudguard. Mudguard. There it is. What else have we got to get? Nice bike. Not bad. I do find sidecars on motorbikes really pointless. Because the cool thing about being on a motorbike is you can lean and corner and you can sneak into small gaps. With a sidecart, you're basically getting the worst of both worlds. You're getting the worst experience for motorbike because you can't lean or do anything cool and comfortable. And you're as wide as a car, so you can't fit anywhere good either. I can't find what's... Oh, fender. One of the fenders is... Really?
I don't even know what is a fender.
Like a quarter panel on your car. You got fender bender. Oh, here it is. It's the front wheel one. It'll be underneath it, I betcha. It'll be up underneath. That's what it was on the last motorbike. There it is.
Got it.
Up underneath it where the tire is, yeah. There we go. Cool.
This is a pretty decent delay on the stream.
What is it, like 10 seconds?
It's probably more, I reckon. Wait, I'll stop jumping.
10, 15 seconds?
2.
Oh, yeah, even I'm seeing a bit of a delay there on the... Maybe like 15 to 20 seconds. Yeah, it's getting a bit high.
It's about 11, 12-ish.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Anyway, Jay says, if you could go back and redo life from 13, you'd fight your mum on doing homeschool. Your dad wanted me to do it, but mum hated the idea because it wasn't... You weren't already antisocial and wanted me to be around people more. Ah. But you wasn't antisocial with people who were nice and had stuff in common with me. They just mostly existed online. That's true. There are many awesome people online. There's a lot of dickheads online as well, but... Yeah, I didn't do homeschooling. I would not have... I don't think I would have done well with homeschooling. I would not have hoped, I think. You'd have loved to focus on classes and your creative hobbies, yeah. I would have gone a bit, I don't know, weird. I'm a very social person. Although I've been fine through all the COVID times with lockdowns and everything.
So I'd take some different subjects. Oh, I can move the tape. So I don't know if you can move any objects.
Yeah, I could move this pot here. I wanted to see if I could knock it off and break it. Oh, we'll just keep swapping sides. We gotta... Don't cross the streams. So, Bright had nothing in common with any of your high school peeps. Only your best friend, who proud to say has been your best friend since 7 years old. Oh, cute. Awesome. Well, Pungeon Master, aka Tower, been friends with his brother since we were in kindergarten. Well, I was just under 5. He would have been 5. I would have been like 4 3/4. Anyway,
Elvin's,
so it's getting pretty late because you needed to be off at 10, right? Well, it's it's 11.
I know. It's alright. I'll survive for a round of golf.
Yeah, golf's easy, man. Just have an extra couple of beers.
Yeah, Elvin was... I became friends with him when Rachel did Pony Club, so it would have been...
Oh, wow.
Maybe still in nappies.
Elvin Charles. I remember I met Seok when I was doing swimming lessons, and I would have been like, I want to say 10-ish, but I'm not entirely sure. Somewhere between 8 and 10. And then only saw him at swimming lessons, and then because he was obviously from Flowerdale and not anywhere near where we were, not till we did then year 7 where we all had to come to the same high school.
Right, real Seok.
Yeah, the real one. Yeah, the real Seok, not Belst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this doesn't make any sense to anyone who's listening in, so I won't talk about that any further. There we go. So, Dalen, if you went back to 13, you'd probably just stop trying to study so you had reasons to say you want to just do art and learn a trade. Jay, you were similar. You made a friend at high school just to stop your mum from forcing you to see a psychologist. High school was a lot of pretending to be interested in stuff I wasn't into socially. And then going home to friends online and art and writing. Well, that's even, I would suggest as well, Jay, because you were in a country town. Now, you were in a bigger country town than I was, but I would suggest that the country town probably amplified that more, right? Bit more isolation, more people, like, you know, there's fewer people, there's fewer ideas and open minds. Your parents won't let you do anything other than study, Dylan. Oh, jeez. Yeah, the country town absolutely doesn't help for people like us. Not at all. All right, so we are a fair way in, so Cookie, you need to drop off. Question to everyone else, I guess, is do we want to stop now? Oh, let's continue that job. Because the next one is a pretty It's a pretty big job. It's the shoe house, and I'm not sure I want to do that on my own. Dad joke. How does Sorry?
Here you go.
I say dad joke. The Darth Vader. How does Darth Vader like his toast on the dark side? That's fair. I kind of do too, I guess. But still, like light and fluffy in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you need it.
Yeah. Sorry.
The shoe house isn't too big. I did that one by myself. It's much smaller than the skate park.
Okay, let's have a look.
I can start it with you if you'd like.
I would like. This will be the last one.
The achievement for this is to clean the sole of the shoe last.
So the grey shit, the green shit last.
Yep.
That's an achievement.
Yep, just do the sole last.
Alright, well that's fine. We can do that. I'm fairly certain I cannot balls that up.
My game... Oh no, here we go. As soon as I started to question if it was working, it kicked into gear.
Oh, it didn't join you in yet.
Yeah, long delay.
Ah. So here's, I guess, a slight variance on the last question. So a lot of people saying like, hell no, I don't want to go back to being my 13-year-old self and reliving that timeline. Even though you could adjust timeline and the outcomes having known everything that you know now. What if you were instead thrown to be your 13-year-old self, but now in today's time? So there's no reaping the benefits of the stock market or Bitcoin.
Nah.
You do get to live for another decade or so, perhaps.
Another couple.
I don't know how it would work, though, because, like, are you going to then have to live with your parents as they are now? That bit, like, I don't know these kind of details. I'm just making these hypotheticals up as I go.
Well, that's even more of a no, then.
Oh, fail.
Then, like, do I go back to, like, 13-year-old's level of wealth? Do I have the level of wealth that I have now, but I just don't have my things anymore?
Oh, good question. Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought this one through. You still got all the stuff you've got now. That's handy. But then... Or you're having to start as No, I'm thinking maybe it's a new identity effectively then. So, you know, you don't have your stuff, but... You know, you're not stuck on the street like a poor orphan or anything like that.
Well, you gotta
and Lyrium says, yeah, you gotta relive puberty all over again.
Nah. I think I'm a hard pass.
I'm uncertain. I mean, I don't want to give up what I have now and the people I have now. So, if that was the cost, my answer would be no. It's an entirely different direction. How the hell? Oh, I need that step ladder. Where's the step ladder thing? Come here, you.
Even more incentive for the other hypothetical is you could see people that aren't with us any longer. If they're alive back then.
Yes, because you're going back in the timeline, right? Yep. People that you might spend more time with as a result, that's true. No, that definitely applies to you. Right, so Jay says you'd maybe go back to redoing things from your 20s. Yeah, that's true. I would maybe consider something similar. That's a lot more... That's making it too easy though, right? And Bright, going back could help with lessons learned, but wouldn't change your personality. Yeah. That's part of the challenge as well, right? But that's the thing, you still have your personality and everything now. So you've still got your lessons learned. You're just getting to, I guess, reset for another go. Is this a house or a playground? What is this?
I think it's a play on... I think there's a nursery rhyme about the lady who lived in the shoe with her, like, multiple kids or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it is. It's a nursery rhyme.
Yeah. Hubbard? No. Old Mother Hubbard?
No, that was different, I think. She had the thing in her cupboard.
Yeah.
Or nothing in her cupboard or something.
To fetch her podog a bone. When she got there, the cupboard was bare. Something.
I was going to say, you should know some of these, shouldn't you? From reading to the baby cookies? The little cookie crumbs?
Nah, we got all new books. Although I do have all the Harry McClarys. I couldn't pass them up when they were on sale at Aldi.
Yeah. From Donaldson's Dairy.
Yeah, classics.
Jay, you know, your early 20s had some big events. Your mid to late 20s was fantastic fun. Yeah, similar, I think. I don't know. It depends on the scenario. I mean, I like being where I am now. I probably would have considered doing YouTube and Twitch stuff a lot earlier. I actually did look at first potentially doing some YouTube stuff back in like 2012, and I just didn't because I had too many other distractions in my life and my real job I was focusing on. Then makes it harder to get into now. No point focusing on what could have been or what was. That's not a healthy thing to do. People like us who have nerdy or analytical personalities need to make sure we don't focus on that. It's not good for us. On Jay, it was pre-injury for you as well. Yeah, that's fair. Guess you could change the path of not getting injured. Where are you? Are you on the roof?
On the scaffolding. The back of the house.
Right.
It's, I mean, can you purchase the next power washer yet?
Look.
Not that you have to, but I'm just blasting this from up here where I can.
Prime Vista 3000. Yes, I can. And I did. Do I need to therefore buy a nozzle for it? So Prime Vista is... We've got... I don't want modifications. Where's the attachments? Prime Vista 3000.
Oh, yeah.
They're good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where's the turbo nozzle?
It even just sounds nicer. It sounds like more pressure.
It's all about the feels. The haptic feedbacks. Already got a Prime Vista turbo nozzle. Does the same one... Oh no, there it is. I'm gonna say, does the same one from the old model fit?
Only.
Big one out.
I know on the... I watched a little bit of the stream of somebody else's, and they had like the next model up again.
Yeah.
And I guess you unlock it in career mode, but there's a nozzle which is 3 of the red nozzles together. And because
you have my attention.
It's essentially just like turbo cleaning on steroids. Like the
all right. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Well, I need to get 90 stars before I can buy the next washer.
Yeah.
Which is lame. Why can't we just take out a bank loan and buy it straight up? We need more street cred with the stars.
Yeah.
Ding. Mother Hubbard has messaged us. I'm going to poop. I done it. That's nice. Thank you for that. Gross.
There's a couple of good text messages in this one.
I just had a random thought too. You know how we're talking about going back in time and what would be good? Seeing some of our old pets, previous pets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that fateful day when Tilly got bitten by a tiger snake or something. That could not happen. That would be nice.
You could avoid it, yeah. Well, my cat Sooty, he had diabetes, but then he developed a heart condition, so not really avoidable as far as I'm aware, but he was an awesome dude. He lived a good life, I think, for the most part. I still think about him sometimes. He shows up in my dreams sometimes. And Jay's on it. Yep, hanging out with old pets would be amazing. Hell yes. What if you were to clone your pet? Not the same. Maybe it would help a little bit.
Are we getting transference? Like of the memory? Or?
No, I'm just going flat out clone, grow a new one. So it's a new baby, puppy or kitty. I would do it.
Then it's just going to look the same, but it'll be different.
True, but I'd be interested to know if it would turn out to be mostly the same.
Yeah, like similar personality.
Yeah. It's like there's all these thought experiments too around with Hitler, right? Because Hitler was like an orphan child with certain things that happened. If he didn't have those things happen, for example, would he not have turned into who he was, and therefore the horrendous things happen? Apparently he also like nearly died as a child, but someone saved him. I don't know if it was drowning or something. Anyway, someone saved him.
Yeah,
that's not
a bell.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Guy that saved Hitler.
Lyrium, you think someone did clone their dog? Well, that sounds fair enough, because there was, they cloned Dolly the sheep back in the 2000s or something, right? So
I think it was Dolly or Polly or whatever, but sounds correct.
Yeah, sounds about right. Jay, most of your time travel fantasies are making friends with a Time Lord and going back to observe historical events that weren't recorded or were recorded with too much bias to be accurate. Oh, yes. I have had similar things. Like, it would be really fascinating to be able to, even if you couldn't travel back, if you could just do something to watch something back. Like, you could accurately go back to, like, the Dark Ages, to see what it was like. What was King Arthur and Merlin or Lancelot? What actually happened there? That would be fascinating. Go back and see dinosaurs somehow. And all the crazy shit that happened. And then there's the controversial one. Going back. And then seeing Jesus Christ. What took place? What happened? What didn't happen? What got written into books that turned into religion? Jay, you want to observe pre-Christian Wales and Scotland? Ooh, yes. There'd be so many fascinating things to go back and observe. Fortunately, I think going backwards in time is very difficult. Going forwards in time isn't too bad. You just gotta, like, travel really, really fast. And the time around you will go faster, yeah. You travel close
to the unknown, though.
Yeah. Be fun. Be a hoot. Why not? If you could travel in a... This is what blows people's minds too, those who are unfamiliar with the fact that time is not linear and it is also relative. The fact if you're near a strong gravitational field, time moves slower for you and everyone around that field. If you're traveling really, really fast, time for you moves slower but the same speed for everyone else. So if you take two identical twins, one of them just lives out their life on Earth. The other one travels near the speed of light for, like, I don't know, 5 years. For him, 5 years has passed, but he comes back and like 50 years have passed when he lands on Earth. Like in, it's similar to what happens in the movie Interstellar. Now, Interstellar oversimplifies things a lot. But yeah, different time rates, different time dilation.
I haven't seen Interstellar. I should.
It's worth checking out. Like I say, they oversimplify how gravity and time warping works. Because they go to planets, right? And time flows much slower there because the gravity's much stronger. But the problem is, if the gravity was that strong, they'd just be crushed by it when they landed. So just ignore that part. And Larry...
Did you ever watch the TV series 100?
The 100.
Yeah.
No, I actually never knew about it until someone told me about it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll have to check it out. But I haven't actually watched it. That's where there's like 100 humans all put in one spot and they're from different times in history. Is that right?
No, so it's a...
Or is that the 4400 I'm thinking of then?
The 100 is a futuristic kind of thing, apocalypse kind of situation, I guess. I think this all happens in the first episode, it's not really spoiling much, but they essentially drop a ship back to Earth with 100 people on it to see if they can survive, because they're up in a space station because Earth was nuked to the shithouse, and so it was deemed uninhabitable.
Right.
And so it starts off following the lives of those 100.
Gotcha.
But in the later seasons, they touch on the time dilation and different planets, and it's... Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but it gets a bit brain warpy kind of... Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Yep. Delirium asks, would anyone even believe you if you did go back in time and came back? Probably not.
This
thing is...
like a 16 terabyte hard drive. The nerds would believe you.
That's it. That's the thing, though. I mean, if you're going to go back just for telling everyone about it, you're probably doing it wrong. I think you want to try and go back, or go forward in time, or back in time. You then use what you've got to your own advantage, right? It would be good to talk about it with someone, though. And how do we know what else we need to get?
Well, there's stairs down there in atrocious condition.
Oh yeah, we can do them.
I feel like we can't have much left.
We've got to be close.
Well, did you get the islets? Each one of those islets is a... Oh no, that one's not done.
Got some of them.
I wonder what the technical difference is between a banister and a balustrade, or is it just American Australian?
Well, you're the buildy man.
I would call this a balustrade.
I haven't even heard that word before.
Landing balustrade. Essentially, it's a house fence, I guess.
Oh, there's a bit of dirt on this boot wall. There we go. That one's done. Oh, hang on. Wooden trim done. Yep. What else have we got? That's all done, done, done. Oh, boot wall. This boot wall.
Wooden trim here. There we go.
This boot wall, this quarter here needs something somewhere. I'm trying to do it without getting the sole, though.
You can touch the sole. You just have to finish it last.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the sole has got heaps on it, so that's all good. Boot wall. I saw another boot wall. That one.
Oh, something up here.
Hang on, I see it. There we go. Done, done. Oh, this boot wall. Funnily enough, these are the boot walls that I did earlier, and did a terrible job, apparently. Alright, there we go.
Once you start an area, you gotta keep going until you hear the ding.
Yeah, I get distracted by conversations and other bits that are more fun to squirt the dirt off.
Door?
Door?
Door frame. Door? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Boot wall and window frame.
Window frame.
here's the boot wall.
Here's the window frame on the door. Ah, on top of it.
Oh, okay.
That odd little angle.
All right,
Yes.
done. Now sold.
Oh. Can confirm the shoe is not ginger coloured.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dunsky. How do I know if I got the achievement? Oh no, I got it there on Steam. I see it. It shows up behind my portrait on the actual stream screen. But there we go. Thanks, man. Achievement unlocked. Shoe house for Mother Hubbard. It did say Mother Hubbard when she was talking about taking a shit, but I thought... I didn't think she was the one who lived in the shoe, but anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't remember my nursery rhymes well enough. Yes, she was, says Bright. Alright, so it is the same one. Bright has confirmed the law stands corrected. Alright, cool. Well, now it's very late. It's way past your bedtime, Cookie.
It is.
Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us and
my pleasure.
Talking about all the fun theoretical scenarios. It's alright, Bright, we'll believe you. Or either one.
This game is just too addictive. I was like,
yeah.
I'll help you start this, and then you just start cleaning and you can't stop.
That's it, you just gotta get it done. Gotta get it done. But yep, that'll do us for tonight, I think. I don't know how many people are still left online tuning into us, but thank you everyone who's hung out tonight for 2 streams we did in the end. So we finished Stray and we have now done multiple jobs in PowerWash Simulator. So we will do some more power washing in the near future. Hopefully once again with Cookie joining us. Maybe with Tower/Pungeon Master one day as well. But it was a very fun chat.
Is normally his best night.
Yep, cool. So maybe next Friday we might aim for that. We'll see if I can actually organise it and tee it up. And maybe see if he wants to stream his side of it as well. Anyway, that's cool. We'll see what we can work out. It has very much been a fun chat. Thank you everyone who has come along and contributed to the chat. But also a big thank you to everyone who's willing to sit there and just watch us chat and talk crap and wash things in a virtual world. But hope everyone, yes, that, oh, Jade, have fun not thinking about licking belt sanders. Yeah, well, now we are. Did you just pick that up?
Yeah.
Can you pick them up? You can pick them up. Oh, can I throw them? No, I can just drop it. Okay. I didn't know you could do that either. All right, thank you everyone. That's enough for tonight. Next stream we'll be back to the normal schedule. So Monday night we'll be cracking on with some more Oblivion. I will spend the next day and a half or so getting organised for that because we've done the Dark Brotherhood stuff now. Now we move on to the next stage of our playthrough, which I might need to make some adjustments to because there might be some quests not flowing the way I thought they were going to. So I'll need to double check that. But anyway, thank you very much everyone who's come along and hang out with us tonight. I've had a great time. I hope you've had a good time too. We will do more of these community sort of chill streams in the near future. And I'm open to suggestions as to what some of those games may look like and who might like to come and join us in the chat as well. But that'll do, I guess. This has been Nerdedness. I've been Shade. That's been Cookie. You've been awesome. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Good night.